Chegamos aqui, meus amigos, temos inversão de lados, Damwon escolhe o lado azul dessa vez. E primeiro, antes de mais nada, se você está aqui nessa finalíssima, você vai deixar seu sub no canal. Se inscreve aqui, aperta o botãozinho vermelho caso você não seja inscrito ainda, deixa sua inscrição no canal e vamos seguir adiante com a nossa análise, com o nosso papo aqui. Damwon acho que aprendeu a lição deles, que o Lucian do Xiaohu não pode passar, e que acabou sendo nem do Xiaohu, acabou sendo do Cry.
But I don't know if Cryin is going to get to see the Lucian again after that incredible performance in game number 1. The early Lee Sin pick here for Khan has been strong on it. Has already played it 3 times throughout MSI. We'll be interested to see if they want to go for a really heavy early game skirmish style of composition. Yeah. Because this is something that we have seen alongside these Lee Sins. Sometimes you go for things like the Lee Sin, the Rumble, you go for early game power in the mid lane, you really look to scrap, you really look to take over and try to get a little bit more aggressive.
Agora é saber se o Canyon vai para counter mais tradicional dele.
Who was able to kind of run the show around those in the previous game. And as a result, Damwon was kind of on the back foot. They lost out on the level 1, they lost out on the skirmish around Grift Herald, and they were forced to really pass over the driver's seat to RNG. They were the ones dictating the pace of that game.
Não, que a Damwon vai para counter tradicional, vai para counter mais atual e que não bate tanto de frente com o Dir, tá?
Tristana also makes a lot of sense here for Ghost. Again, could be flex to Showmaker, not expecting it. He hasn't played it yet, but then again,
eu acho que eu pegaria 7 aqui.
Before the last game, and obviously was incredible on it. So we'll have to see where they want to take us. Will they match top laners right here for Xiaohu, or are they willing to allow him to be banned out a little bit?
Mas por enquanto acho que eles ainda estão preferindo jogar com o Jace, que basicamente o Jace contra o Lee Sin, ele é um matchup em que o Jace sofre no early, sofre muito, e depois dá outscale, por conta da build atual dele, com Gota, né, com Muramana, etc. Ele acaba dando mais dano. Obviamente o Lee Sin não tem essa opção, ele não tem a opção de fazer uma build late game. A build dele é aquela build de bruiser, é uma build de lutador, é uma build que vai abusar do early game e da lane phase, desses pequenos 1 contra 1, 2 contra 2, para criar esse tipo de jogada. E enquanto isso, o Jace, ele é um campeão que ele busca ser opressor na lane, e ele busca usar esse poke de longo alcance e tem potencial de finalização quando ele troca para o martelo, tá? É um campeão bem forte, é um campeão que também tem muito potencial, muita pressão de rota. E a princípio, será que a Damwon vai jogar esse... eu não sei se esse Lee Sin é flex pro mid, porque eu nunca vi o Showmaker usando ele. Eu não lembro, pelo menos, dele ter usado, acho que só o Khan usou. Mas agora a gente vai descobrir se hoje veio o Khan ou se veio o cansado. E vamos ver como vai ser. A RNG vai ter que liberar mais um pick, que provavelmente vai ser o suporte deles. Não tenho certeza se vai ser um Alistar. O quê? Nossa, eles querem... faz sentido, faz muito sentido na realidade. Faz muito sentido. Por quê? Por que faz sentido? Mas por que faz sentido isso, bro? Porque eles estão com um time que joga muito com suporte e eles carregam através da bot lane. Então é muito importante para eles ter um matchup favorável na bot side. Eles ainda podem... Meu amigo, a gente vai ter um Xerath. Incrível. Incrível. Eu não acho bom, mas incrível, ok. Bard would be a really interesting answer because he has the range not only to cancel the Xerath ult, but also the ability to get out of lane and potentially focus. Ok. Vamos para aquela nossa pausa tradicional assim que terminar aqui, assim que eles organizarem as posições. Ok, organizaram. Vamos lá. Eita, meu Deus, tem dois Jace no jogo. Obrigado. Tá, vamos lá. A composição da Damwon, ela, apesar de ter uma Leona, ela não quer teamfight. Olha o que eles querem fazer. Eles querem fazer cerco e desengage. Cerco, desengage. Cerco, poke, desengage. Cerco, poke, desengage. Você tem um Lee Sin, você tem uma Tristana. Os dois campeões têm como desengajar com seus ultimates. Tem como desengajar um alvo, mas você não tem nenhum grande alvo que você queira tirar dali, fora provavelmente a Rel ou o Dir. E por outro lado, você tem uma Leona para potencializar o poke caso eles precisem engajar ou possam finalizar alguém que esteja low devido a tanto poke. Você tem a Morgana para potencializar o poke e neutralizar certos engages. E você tem o Lee Sin com o mesmo potencial de disrupção e altíssima mobilidade, como eu acho que nenhum outro campeão no jogo se equipara em mobilidade ao Lee Sin, talvez o Lucian. Enquanto isso, a Royal ela traz uma composição que tem potencial de pick-off. Ela tem um potencial de pick-off com essa pressão. Com a pressão que a ult da Kai'Sa coloca a partir do nível 6 e só a Kai'Sa faz. Mas eles têm sim uma composição de teamfight, em que eles vão querer colocar a Rel na linha de frente, a Rel para iniciar, a Rel para puxar a luta, combando com a ultimate da Orianna e o dano do Xiaohu de longo alcance. Então você vai ter um Jace, que vai dar muito dano em área, vai ter essa opção. Além disso, as duas equipes podem optar pelo 4-1, deixando respectivamente o Lee Sin e o Jace espalhados pela side, enquanto juntam o restante do time para lutar pelos objetivos, chegando primeiro, com os sobrantes chegando posteriormente num eventual TP, ou não dando TP e aproveitando o TP do adversário para acumular ainda mais vantagem na rota lateral. Se a RNG quiser ganhar com mais facilidade, o mais forte para eles é realmente, novamente, investir nas pontas do mapa e usar o Wei para tentar neutralizar esse Lee Sin no early game, que é onde ele é muito forte, e ou cavar mais vantagens para a bot lane deles. Por outro lado, na Damwon, eles precisam jogar exatamente do mesmo jeito. Eles precisam criar vantagens em cima dessa Tristana para ela neutralizar a Kai'Sa. A gente sabe que o ponto de neutralização principal da RNG é quando você consegue matar o Gala. E, se possível, também tentar conseguir neutralizar na rota superior o Xiaohu. Não só neutralizar o Xiaohu. Oh, deu pausa, que tristeza. Mas basicamente o objetivo deles não é nem chegar, não é nem neutralizar o...
In game number 1. We've already praised them. We've already talked about that entire first game and how they had everything.
Como é que eu posso dizer? Não é nem neutralizar necessariamente o Jace, e sim colocar pra frente colocar pra frente o Lee Sin, que o Lee Sin precisa muito jogar no early game, sabe?
Exactly. I mean, it's so interesting because RNG was synonymous with Uzi, right? And Uzi was synonymous with RNG, both as far as personality, as far as fandom, as far as play style in game. This team was built to support Uzi, to build up Uzi. Give him all the farm, give him all the resources, give him the last pick, and he is going to make it worthwhile. And when he left RNG, there was such a void, and there was such a question on a lot of LPL fans' minds. Is this the end of an era for RNG? This is a team that had been synonymous with LPL success, had been one of the best performing LPL teams internationally for years, and they had finally reached this summit of an MSI championship. So it was hard to take for so many RNG fans, for so many LPL fans, to see Uzi stepping down. And RNG, after having such a rough year last year on the rebuild, 7th, 8th in spring, don't even make playoffs in summer, coming in 9th place. Here they are. They have already come to the place where RNG had their greatest success from the past, the MSI finals, and they are looking to equal that success that they were able to have with Uzi, which would just be so incredible to see. Really interesting level 1 here. this is actually Gala as well as Ming spending mana and some health to say, hey, we leashed bot.
Fizeram fake leash de novo.
But actually,
É tudo isso pra dar um throw off no Canyon. É tudo pra dar throw off no Canyon, cara.
Damwon is at actually tracking junglers just based on CS, based on timing, where they would be on the map on their full clear, and this is going to throw you off a little bit.
Isso é incrível, isso é incrível.
Potentially,
ainda mais quando você não tem wards, não tem wards profundas, né? Você não tem deep ward por parte da Damwon, então eles não tem como pegar a visão. Eles não tem como saber se ele tá mesmo lá ou não.
With Cry, and remember that Xerath does have the ability to channel that Q, that Arcano
Agora ele sabe.
range, but he can also snap cast it if he's right in his opponent's face like that, makes it a bit easier to hit. But we will see both junglers pathing towards this bottom side of the map now. Keep your eyes on Canyon in particular to see if he tries to make a move not expecting Wei. You can already see the on my way ping coming out from Canyon here, but it's Wei who's made his way down first. We'll see if the RNG plan works, and there it goes. Ming's already made the engage. There is your stun, there is your play. Ghost is not long for the world, and Barrel is not either.
Mas acho que essa daqui eles vão deixar pro Gala. É isso. E de novo aquilo, cara, incrível. E esse daqui foi um path muito inteligente do Wei, cara, muito inteligente do Wei. Ele atrasa o blue dele, que ele sabe que não vai ser invadido, sabe que não vai ser contestado, pra punir o time adversário pela pressão e posicionamento deles. Nossa, ele deu um pulo muito curto. O único mérito, por assim dizer, do Ghost e do Barrel é que eles aceitaram, né, que eles tinham morrido e não gastaram recurso. E novamente, nível 1, a RNG começa já ganhando o jogo, de certo modo, com uma jogada inteligente, simples, sabe? São jogos mentais contra o Canyon, sabe? Eles sabem que o Canyon é um jogador monstruoso, potencialmente considerado o melhor jogador do mundo por muitas pessoas atualmente. Ele é um cara que tem mecânica e inteligência, sabe? Então ele é um jogador que tem, entre aspas, tudo, sabe? E aí você traz Você tem que jogar, você tem que neutralizar ele. E você não neutraliza o Canyon mecanicamente, sabe? Tipo, mecanicamente vai ser pau a pau. A gente tá num cenário mundial, sabe? Agora, você neutraliza o Canyon com com o jogo mental. The other side of the map, just really cool stuff there from RNG. Damwon only down about 1,000 there, so they did lose a little bit extra on top of the first blood money plus the assist money on both of those kills. But RNG are loving how this thing is going early so far. Khan's doing a good job staying even with Xiaohu in farm up here in the top lane. Generally breaking even with Jace in farm is always a good sign for a top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can go pretty defensive in this matchup. You can go resolve, you start with the D-shield. If you're really concerned, you can even put multiple points in the safeguard to try to really just sustain through any sort of poke. But Khan doing an excellent job. He's down a couple CS, but more of that wave is pushing towards him, I believe. So should be able to equalize that pretty simply. Wei going to be spotted out here. We'll see if they want to try to make any sort of a collapse, but it doesn't look like they're in position to do so.
Não, a RNG ela tá mantendo muito presinho embaixo da torre, sabendo que não pode criar play, sabendo que não pode tomar play. Então o Canyon acaba não podendo jogar. Mas se ele fizer uma... Ah, não. Ele desistiu, ele não quer perder mais tempo. Porque ele poderia perder tempo ali com essa longa farsa ali, né? Ficar ali paradinho no mato, esperando eles avançarem, porque eventualmente eles teriam que avançar. Mas ele não fez, ele não quis.
Barrel walks forward with the Eclipse, but neither player from RNG will be within range there for the Zenith Blade. Ghost still staying even with him in terms of farm as well. You can see Canyon pathing up towards the top side of the map. Scuttlecrab has spawned there here for the second time, so that means he should be able to secure.
Agora eles devem aliviar a pressão da Royal por conta do Wei estar no bot. Porém, pro Xiaohu as coisas podem ficar um pouco azedas agora.
Nice flash from Zhao, who needed a flash as soon as possible to escape the binding, but now the soul shackles are down. Canyon's trying to stay alive here with the Arcano Pulse coming in, and Showmaker's the one who gets the kill.
Bottom side looks like they will survive, being pushed back though. Ghost having used both his summoners to just ignite there from Ming, so nice kill. Khan setting it up with the kick in there, getting that injection of gold.
E sim, um dive bem executado, mas deu muito certo porque tava 3v2. Tá?
You showed your mid laner and your jungler top side. You know that Wei just took down the dragon. Cryin is missing from mid, so as far as Damwon's bot lane know, there could be 4 setting up a dive.
E o Wei garante o 100% e garante um medo no coração da bot lane da Damwon, né? A RNG garante isso, desculpa. Mas isso daí é o que deve ser feito em LoL de alto nível, tá? Enquanto um lado tá criando, o outro lado tá defendendo. Então, obviamente, a Damwon não vai comprar as trocas, sabe? No bot. Porque eles sabem que eles não vão ter vantagem numérica.
Didn't have the timing right on the rocket jump, gets knocked out of that by Ming. They get both summoners down, so now Ghost will be pretty vulnerable for the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Remember that with Tristana, she has that little bit of a channel, charge up, whatever you want to call it, animation before rocket jump. If you're hit with a CC during that, you'll launch yourself through the air after. You buffer through it, right? But if you're hit while you're already in the jump animation, then it cancels. Then Ming is able to stop you. Good job there. Excellent timing from RNG, making sure they get some free summoners out of that. Damwon now going after the Rift Herald. Ghost has been rotated up here. Everybody from Damwon's a part of the show. Everybody from RNG doing the same. And it looks like we might get ourselves another first Rift Herald team fight here, Mr. Razael. It happened in the previous game. It'll probably happen here again. Rift Herald still being aggroed down to about 1/3 of the patience, so they can't afford to have it drop that aggro too many more times. Wei is ready to contest here with the smite. Eyeball opened up, but now the patience is gone.
Nossa, muito bem jogado. Só que
Damwon have already lost 2 of their players. Double kill back over to the enemy AD carry. Barrel staying alive, looking to do whatever he can, but everybody else is dropping over.
Faltou dano.
Double kill back to the Jace now as well.
Não é que faltou dano, sabe? O grande ponto é que você lembra o que eu falei? A Damwon não queria teamfight, velho. A Damwon não queria teamfight, aí eles 4 se colocam dentro do pit. Se eu fosse o Showmaker, eu ia ficar muito deprimido aqui agora, velho. Como é que vão poder fazer isso, sabe? Olha isso. Você não quer teamfight, tá? Você quer disruptar. Até aqui tá maravilhoso. Até aqui tá maravilhoso. Aí ele entra aqui e o Canyon entra também. Aí você já fala, vocês estão de sacanagem com a minha cara. E é isso, sabe? É muito ruim pra eles esse tipo de jogada.
Maybe could have killed the Jace, couldn't quite knock him down, unfortunately, for Showmaker. But this is so problematic. When you commit to those 5v5s, instead of just trading on the other side of the map, you have got to win. It is so costly. You know, had Damwon just kept farming it out, leave Ghost on bot side, take a couple plates, get a farm advantage down there, the risk is so low. And really, you don't lose that much as far as the gold goes. I wonder if Damwon were so tunneled on the fact that you have a Xerath who kind of needs this point of safety in mid lane, needs a tower to farm at, that they felt, hey, we have to fight here, and took that fight even if it was potentially ill-advised. Setting up a trap, though, here on that bottom side. I think this is going to work.
This should work at least. CC's going out. Ming in a lot of trouble here. One more auto attack takes him out, and it's Canyon who grabs the kill. Nice response.
Muito bem setado, pick-offzinho. É o tipo de coisa que essa composição consegue fazer muito bem, dá poke e pick-off. Só que eles precisam, né, manter esse tipo de jogada. Eles precisam criar mais uns 4 ou 5 desses para dar certo. Eu achei que aquela luta lá azedou muito o jogo, porque deu 3 kills pra essa Kai'Sa, 2 no caso, né? Deu 2 kills pra essa Kai'Sa, levou ela ao patamar de 3 kills, deixou ela muito na vantagem em cima da Tristana. E agora E o que acontece? É uma composição que quer dar poke, né? Por que o Vini tá fazendo isso, meu Deus?
Gotta make sure you are on point with that. And unfortunately for Damwon, Ghost is pretty far behind, right? You look at the itemization, he does not have his mythic yet, and Gala has the mythic, a couple of longswords on top. You know, even in that gank that just worked, it's actually Canyon that picked up the gold. So Tristana is falling quite a bit behind here, and RNG are just in such an incredible position.
Oh, and Ghost is already in some trouble with Gala going in on the killer.
Meu amigo.
The JCC's coming back.
Bela
Ghost
jogada
is
da
not the one
Damwon.
in danger after all. Teleport arrives as Cryan joins the fight, but he's only there for Gala's funeral.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 1v1 you win, Gala, but where's the support? You gotta be thinking
Isso
about
daí, sendo bem sincero, Bom, vamos lá, foram duas coisas. Primeiro que o Gala tava sem cleanse.
You gotta keep your eye on the ball, man. Shelly charges in. RNG's gonna grab themselves.
O Gala tava sem purificar. Não esperava que o Barrel estivesse ali, né? E o Ghost tem que curar, cara. Curar é uma habilidade de combate, é uma habilidade que te dá status de combate, ela te dá vida. Enquanto o purificar em si, ele não te dá esse benefício. O Barrel fez muito bem chegar rápido, não parar em momento algum no meio do caminho. E garantir esse ganho pra bot lane. Só que, graças à jogada subsequente da Orianna, do Cryan, ele acabou trocando o teleporte dele pelo flash do Ghost. E isso acabou sendo vantajosíssimo para Royal, que agora o Ghost novamente volta a ser alvo, queimando o teleporte, queimando o flash assim que ele volta.
RNG are going to be building in confidence, building in momentum here in the series.
Damwon is doing a good job right now of staunching the bleeding, right? 13.5 minutes into the game, after that disaster of a fight at the Rift Herald, they were down 3K.
Lembra que eu falei que precisava de mais 4 ou 5? Agora precisa de 3 ou 4. A Damwon tá continuando fazendo as coisas lentas, assim, tá fazendo as coisas aos poucos.
RNG already has that Drake lead like you were talking about. It's still very scary for Damwon. This game has to be played very intelligently for them. Otherwise, they're down 2-0, and if they want to win, that situation demands a reverse sweep, and that's so hard to do.
It absolutely is, and the LCK and the LPL are no strangers to international competition. These are two teams that have fought each other in international finals so many times. And while the LCK does hold a 3-2 lead as far as those international finals are concerned, it's actually both of the wins coming for the LPL at MSI. They are 2-0 in international finals against the LCK at MSI. And it's actually LCK who has always been coming out on top on Worlds. So it'll be interesting to see if that trend is continuing or if Damwon will be able to buck the trend here and try to claw back in this series.
E cara, a alma infernal é boa para as duas equipes de novo também.
Definitely with the momentum.
Yeah,
o poke do Jace, o poke do Zera, qualquer dos pokes que encaixar com essa...
Going for the flash into the bear slap, but he doesn't quite have it. Barrel can walk away thanks to the black shield from Canyon. And Damwon will disengage the RNG engage attempt here in bottom lane. They'll trade turrets back up there in the top side. Of course, the turret first blood bonus does go over to RNG.
That failed engage actually pretty costly for RNG because really Khan had no business taking down that turret up on the top side. He doesn't even have to use his teleport. So you actually commit the top lane TP. Yes, Showmaker does match that, but it's 5 members bot for RNG. Khan just stays top, takes down a tower. So all things considered, pretty good, knowing that that tower was always going to go down here pretty shortly, as they had committed the Rift Herald down there. They had really put a lot of resources into knocking him down.
And man, way on this Udyr, 1-0-5, 100% kill participation. This pick is a problem for Damwon. This guy has been having a couple really good games on this. Of course, his team doing everything they can to help set him up.
Mas vale ressaltar que ainda tá um jogo exótico, por assim dizer, sabe? Um jogo que tá muito em aberto.
there in game number 2. I really love how they're enabling him and allowing him to play aggressively on this pick that honestly has to play that way to really shine and be effective.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And Damwon finally getting some objectives here. They grab that Rift Herald for themselves. They lost both the Rift Heralds in the previous game. They lost the first Rift Herald in this game. RNG has been getting all the dragons, so RNG has been just dominating the objective game here. And Damwon will have a chance to utilize that Rift Herald to scrape back some gold and also try to push RNG out of position if they want to fight to this next dragon. And I think that they're in a much better spot than they were last game for fighting for this third dragon. They were further behind in gold. You know, the Rift Herald was on the other side. So we'll see if they feel like they can get into a good spot and really set it up. But vision is going to be so critical. You know, how you start these fights is going to be so critical. You want to be first to the objectives, set up the vision, allow Xerath to poke down your opponents as they are trying to enter, right? Xerath doesn't want a committed 100-0 fight. Xerath wants the fight to start when you're already at 50%.
Vale ressaltar outra coisa, tá? A Damwon, acho que ela aprendeu que ela não quer luta em lugar fechado, ela quer luta em lugares abertos onde eles possam se manobrar e se movimentar e continuar aplicando o Q da Morgana, o Q do Xerath, o E do Xerath, o W do Xerath, o ult do Xerath, o dano da Tristana, né? Eles querem poder continuar enrolando e incomodando sem se comprometer, sem entrar de corpo em algum lugar.
This is so disheartening for Damwon having to deal with this thing back to back against a team like RNG that is so cutthroat, that is so efficient, that is so coordinated. And now they'll move forward. At Ming. It's Damwon wanting to get rid of some of this vision here. Ming knows exactly where he's at. He's ready for the flank here. He's ready to be that engage on the rel. Showmaker will continue trying to throw out some poke wherever, whenever he can.
Flash.
Does not have a blue buff, but plenty of mana still to work with.
A RNG aparentemente está contente em perder a torre do mid por essa jogada.
Damwon must be very respectful of this. They can't afford to put everybody in position for a big old shockwave. Brian taking a lot of poke. Ming might be ready to go. It's stolen away by Showmaker. That is huge for Damwon.
Yeah, they gotta back it up now though, because Ming has his flash. He could look for an engage, and they're split from Showmaker. Here he goes!
Everybody's already grouped up, but they do a nice disengage there with the Lee Sin kick. Way's gonna be taken down, and Ghost is grabbing the kill. Khan jumps in now, looking for Xiaohu, but he's gotta be careful. Xiaohu has the advantage in health there in the 1v1. Damwon, they take the Drake, they grab 2 kills. What a huge moment for the mid lane turn as well. This game's back to even, Azael.
Back to parity here, Flowers.
Eles reconheceram o que eles precisavam fazer, eles não compraram a luta, eles desengajaram quando tinha que desengajar. E esse é o objetivo, esse é o estilo de jogo que a Damwon precisa executar.
Able to focus down that front line, get a couple kills for themselves here. And the game becomes very, very different if you get behind the Xerath. If he can start to really become impressive. He was poking out Brian, as you pointed out, and able to actually land that combo. So much damage coming through from here. The slight mistiming on the smite, enough from Way for that to be able to go over. And look at Cryan. This is what I'm talking about. You poke past the front line onto the back line. Canyon flashes out. The kick comes through. Ghost is focusing down Way. It's difficult for the Orianna to position
e pra piorar, o Way matou a Orianna
by the Xerath. You know, the Orianna wants to be up close to Ming, wants to be close to that rel, so he can follow up with the shockwave. But every time Cryan is stepping forward, he's being focused by the Xerath, pushing him back so that the ball will leash and he cannot pull off that combo. And that is such intelligent target selection, knowing that they need to have that proximity to really be able to pull off this combo and have their engages,
enchendo o saco, incomodando.
Just really showcasing
é o que a composição da Damwon precisa fazer.
Of bringing out this pick and how Showmaker is utilizing it.
A 3,000 gold lead for RNG at 10 minutes has turned into a 100 gold lead for Damwon at 20. Incredible swing, incredible change of pace here in this game, and we'll see if Damwon is able to continue building that lead now. This is a position that they were never afforded the opportunity to play from in game number 1. RNG never made the mistake. There was never the error of missing the smite in that game that allowed Damwon back in, despite the fact that they had a couple of really good moments, despite the fact that for the longest time, Ghost had no deaths. Ghost did everything he could to try to scale up in position in the previous game, but RNG was just too far ahead. And now, man, now Damwon has found their opportunity back into this game. We're 20 minutes in, and we are on even footing. I am loving the fact that this is a close game.
Absolutely, and Canyon really getting strong You know, he's closing in on that second item with the Zonias. You can see.
E eu vou dizer assim, a RNG ela não quer ficar fechada no pitch contra eles, sabe? Ela quer baitar, sabe? O que eles precisam fazer nesse momento, a Royal precisa conseguir baitar de maneira que eles encurtem a distância ou forcem a ultimate ou alguma jogada do Showmaker. Caso contrário, eles vão viver sob a constante ameaça desse Zero.
You're gonna need a gallon of potion.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't enter the fight. It becomes so difficult because that pairing of the Rel and Orion is so critical. So RNG are gonna have to be very clinical about their engages. You've got to say, all right, this is the fight. We want to take it if X happens. And as soon as that situation
eu achei legal também que a Damwon ela aprendeu e se adaptou muito rápido depois daquela primeira luta errada.
To whittle you down. You can't give them time for multiple spell rotations, or you won't even have the opportunity to fight anymore. And Showmaker now has the second item, Void Staff here.
I like this.
Preempting any sort of MR that is being picked up. He knows that Merc Treads are high value. He knows that everyone's going to have a splash of MR at the very least. And he is already looking really strong.
Showmaker with the summoner spells ready to go here.
Lembrando que o Xiaohu vai escalar agora.
It is very dangerous to teleport into a fight that has already started. He always wants to be there beforehand, as you already mentioned, for his positioning's sake. But the flash is huge to get away from players like Wei, like Xiaohu, who has just completed the evolution of his Manamune into the Muramana, so he'll have all that extra damage here on a champion that already possesses incredible burst potential. 30 seconds on the clock until our fourth Drake of the game is live.
Ele é uma ferramenta essencial e excepcional para lidar com o Showmaker. É um dos poucos campeões que tem alcance de dano para acertar ele de volta.
Kind of becomes this little mini game where RNG have got to dodge the poke. You've got to be able to be really effective at that. At the same time, you also have to dodge that Jace poke coming through here from Xiaohu because he is quite strong at this point. And,
oh my goodness, he's already ready to go. It's the insect, baby, and Khan is getting it done. Leona ulti ready to follow up. They're getting the kill on Xiaohu.
Tiraram os dois carries que estavam melhor no jogo até agora.
Roars to life.
Is that Khan or was that Katie? Because those Lee Sin mechanics are clean, baby. Khan goes in, kick flash, Cryin deleted. Damwon on the march to Baron. Oh,
e esse potencial de disruption do Lee Sin é muito único também, é muito forte.
Damwon's now on the Baron, working it down rather quickly here. Already down to about half HP. Remember, the Wei does have the flash. He's able to try to go in and go for the steal if he wants to. It's up to Damwon to keep him out of the pit, but Ming's already over the wall. The Baron's going to be taken very low. Canyon's able to secure it, and now they're going to get Baron, and they're going to get a little bit of extra here on the side. Ghost jumps over the wall, but Gala's going in. He's got the killer instinct, but who's the killer and who is the killed? Goodbye, RNG, as Damwon finds themselves a Baron and a couple of kills. Khan's now got to be
meu Deus.
Canyon with the flash away, and Khan's going right back in. RNG decided that Damwon was still hungry, and they fed him a couple more courses, baby.
RNG looking like a bad Kung Fu movie there, funneling in one at a time, getting knocked down left and right as Ghost wipes them off the map, and Damwon take full control over this game. This is the LCK #1 seed that LCK fans were hoping for. The precision, the execution in these team fights was where they were supposed to have such an advantage, and finally being able to showcase it. This is the stuff you dream about as a Lee Sin. International final, hit flash, perfect target there, straight into the CC, no chance for Cryin. And then Khan is going deep. The Xerath ults from downtown. It's Kobe, baby, nothing but net. As Showmaker takes down another, and with that second kill, they're getting Baron, they're taking all the kills after, and they are looking to take this game.
Look at the Red Bull Baron power play counter right now. 4,500 gold with 90 seconds still to play. And that's because of the kills that they got after getting the Baron. They picked up 4 kills after they won the Smite fight, after they secured that. Damwon has so much momentum right now.
E é isso, a leitura do próprio... A leitura da própria condição de vitória foi muito bem executada pela Damwon agora. A única luta que eles perderam foi exatamente quando eles lutaram na condição de vitória da RNG.
You want to step forward and clear out those mini waves, but look at this ulti!
Oh, they're going in, baby. The right of the arcane just raining down hell on him. Wei manages to get away, still with about 20% of his HP remaining, but that means he will not be available here for this defense.
Here comes the poke over the wall, though. It's so tough to actually hold these positions. Showmaker can look once they clear out these wards. He can position over there with Barrel, and as Ghost steps forward to actually attack the wave, attack that tower, you're in such a difficult position. Like, look at where Cryin and these members are having to position to try to avoid any potential Xerath poke. It's just so tough to actually both clear out the wave and avoid poke from Showmaker.
Okay, Ghost losing a little bit of HP there, about 40%, thanks to Cryan's Orianna. Khan will be on split push duty here, making sure they're applying pressure to more than one place. Wei's here to stop him. Khan doesn't want to go for any playmaking on the Udyr, though. We've seen
eu acho que esse ali é o ponto que a RNG tem como criar jogada, quando eles se espalharem.
On the tank, and it's one of the surest ways to throw a lead, so Khan is not about to make that mistake. They'll just continue pushing up instead, playing it nice and slow. Cannon minions putting some damage into the tier 3 turret here. Meanwhile, the tier 2 in bottom lane. This is what Baron split push is all about. Wear them down slowly. Make them choose where they want to defend and then strike at the other location. Damwon will secure that bottom lane tier 2 turret. 5-1 in turret count here this game.
And while it didn't actually matter on this push, they even had top lane prep. You know, you see that Xiaohu is up there clearing that wave out, but that was another stacked wave. So had RNG, not defended as well as they did, well, you lose that tower and all of a sudden Khan's up in topside. And you're losing another tier 2 and it's getting even worse. They are now down 7,000 gold here just about. You talk about Infernal Soul as one of those kind of primo buffs that you can go for. Khan looking for a fight here.
Yeah, they don't even need buffs. If Khan's able to just go in and grab the solo kills like this, he's taking the resonating strike. Xiaohu with a good disengage there. Khan wants to escape, but Wei is already trying to intercept. The rest of Damwon is ready to go to protect him. Xiaohu will not die to the Xerath ultis. Cryan's very, very low. Sonic Wave and resonating strike. That resonating strike going to be denied now as well, but the shockwave will not do enough. And Khan is a man on a mission here in game number 2.
He's got the assistance from long distance. Showmaker is there with the assist, but Khan making it happen for the team. Damwon continuing to push forward here, continuing to threaten the base, and they have the fallback of the Infernal with some of the best champions for it. This is an aggressive TP. We may see Ming try to go on it.
Nope, immediately ready with a safeguard, gets away already. Going in yet again, there it is, he just don't miss. Stopwatch also ready there for the follow-up, as now they'll find themselves another kill. 3 dead on the side of RNG, still 5 seconds before Cryan's able to come back. Ghost says, get out of my game. Ace for Damwon, they will push the Nexus turrets, and they are about to tie this series up. Cryan stuck back in the fountain. Yeah, the shockwave's gonna hit the Xerath, but what does it matter? Damwon were down early. It looked so bad for them, but they struck back beautifully. And Showmaker Xerath stealing away that dragon. The rest of the team playing around it beautifully. And Khan's
eles finalmente conseguiram encaixar o jogo. E esse é o grande ponto, velho. Esse é o grande ponto. Eles jogaram. O grande lance aqui foi como eram as forças da composição. Eu comentei pra vocês no draft ainda. Esse time aqui tinha que lutar pra trás espalhado. Espalhado em lugar aberto. Com poke, dano de longo alcance e uma eventual finalização ou desengage. E a melhor janela de iniciação que a RNG teve foi aquela ult do Ming aqui no meio com flash. Eles conseguiram desengajar com um chute do Lee Sin e acabou. Por quê? Porque você só tem 2 caras que entram de fato. Então, quando o Lee Sin quer engajar em alguém, quer dar um flash ult, fica fácil para ele também. Então, muito bem executado por parte da Damwon. Eles tiveram um erro muito grande no early game, naquela luta do Arauto. Mas eles souberam reconhecer as próprias forças e fraquezas. Sim, principalmente as fraquezas, que eu acho que eles não tinham reconhecido naquele momento. E depois de neutralizar essas fraquezas e jogar somente na condição de vitória deles, na condição de luta deles, eles conseguiram ganhar esse jogo, garantindo o empate na série. E, meus senhoras e senhores, como eu gosto de falar, temos uma série! Então voltamos já para o jogo 3 entre Royal Nevergiveup e Damwon, valendo a final, valendo o grande título do MSI 2021. Muitíssimo obrigado, meus amigos, e como sempre, GG e até logo.